So we want to look at the topic called formula and variation. We want to look at the topic called formula and variation. So let us look at the topic called formula and variation. We have formula, formulae, and variation. And in this lesson, we are going to look at questions that are touching on the area of formula, whereby we are going to find out on how to make a given variable the subject of the formula. For example, if you are given that the area of a circle is always given as pi r squared. So from here, you can be asked to make r the subject. Make r the subject of the formula. The subject of the formula. So the formula that we are given is a is equals to pi r squared. If I want to make r the subject of this formula, then it will force me to divide both sides by pi. Then on the right hand side, pi will cancel out, and I'll be left with area over pi is equals to r squared. If I get the square root of r, then I'll have r alone will be equal to the square root of a over pi. And this one, we've made r the subject of the formula. Another area, you can be given another formula, you can be given that force is equals to mass times acceleration. So if you want to make A, which is the acceleration, the subject of this formula, then you'll say A, it will force me to divide both sides by m, and m will cancel out. Then I'll have area, acceleration. Acceleration is given by force over mass. So this kind of question are the one that we are going to look at, and we are going to cover so many questions that are touching on formula and variation. Yours is just to pay attention and practice as we go along. So if we can embark on the first question. The first question, we are told make x the subject of the formula. So we are given n given by p over the square root of ax plus bx. Like that. So the first thing that we can do here, we can square both sides. We can square both sides. We are squaring both sides because we want to do away with the square root in the denominator on the right hand side. You must know that if you have got the square root of x, you must know that this is the same as x to power a half. So if you want to do away with the square root of a given number, you can square that number. If you square the number, for example, if I square this, is the same as squaring x to power a half. So this will give me x to power a half times 2. So the 2 cancel out. What I'll be left with is x alone. So what we are saying, if you square the square root of a number, you get that number. This one will give us x. So in this case, we want to do away with the square root in the denominator. So on the left-hand side, we are going to have n squared, giving us p squared over ax plus bx. So we've done away with the square root. So this is going to give us n squared should be equals to p squared over common factor here. You can see x is common. So we'll have x in bracket a plus b, like that. So what we have now is that we have n squared is equal to p squared over x in bracket a plus b. So we can cross multiply both sides by x, and cross multiply both sides by x. Remember, it is x that we want to make the subject of this formula. So these x are going to cancel out. Then we are going to be left with x multiplied by n squared is equal to p squared over a plus b. So x squared, x n squared is equal to p squared over a plus b. Let's use the bracket. So this one is going to give us, we can divide both sides by n squared. N squared, we can divide both sides by n squared. So n squared will cancel out, then we'll be left with x alone being given by p squared over n squared in bracket a plus b. So our final answer is x being given by p squared over n squared in bracket a plus b. And this is now the answer. We've made x the subject of the formula. The formula that we were given was this one. Now we've come to realize that x can now be given by p but squared over n squared in bracket a plus b. And that is how it can be done. Number 2, make n the subject of the formula. So what we are given e is equals to the square root of x in bracket n minus x over n minus 1. So we must agree that we have to do away with the square root. We have to do away with the square root. So for us to do away with the square root, it is going to force us to square both sides. We are going to square both sides. Remember, I've said that if you have got the square root of a number, if you square that square root of a number, you get that number. So you'll have y. So in our case here, on the left-hand side, I'll have e squared. Then on the right-hand side, I'm going to do away with the square root. So I'm going to be left with x in bracket n minus x over n minus 1. Like that. Then the next thing that I can do here is to cross multiply both sides by the denominator. So I'll cross multiply by n minus 1. I'll multiply by n minus 1. So this one will cancel out. Then I'll be left with e squared in bracket n minus 1. So will be equals to x in bracket n minus x. So I can break the bracket on the left-hand side and I'll say e squared n minus e squared is equals to, on the right-hand side I can also break the bracket and I'll get xn minus x squared. Then from here we can collect the like terms. I can say e squared n, then I bring xn on the left-hand side, giving me minus xn should be equals to minus x squared plus, if I bring minus e squared on the right-hand side, I'll have plus e squared. So remember, if you look at the equation that we have on the left-hand side, then we'll say that n is common. So we'll have n in bracket e squared minus x should give us, we can rearrange the right-hand side and we say e squared minus x squared. Then from here, because our concern is to make n the subject of the formula, we can divide both sides by e squared minus x, both sides by e squared minus x. So on the left-hand side, it is going to cancel out and we are going to be left with n. So n is now going to be e squared minus x squared over e squared minus x. And now we have made n the subject of the formula. The formula that we were given is this formula, and we've come to realize that n can now be given by e squared minus x squared over e squared minus x. And that is how it's supposed to be done. Let us look at number 3. We are told make p the subject of the formula. So the formula that we are given a is equals to minus e p over the square root of p squared plus n. So this is what we are going to have. We are told, can we make p the subject of the formula? So what we are going to have here is we can square both everything. We can square both sides to do away with the square root in the denominator. Can square both sides like that. And if you square both sides like that, we have got minus ep squared over root of p squared plus n. So this is going to give us a squared should be equals to e squared p squared over p squared plus n. Then from there, we are going to cross multiply so that we do away with the denominator. So we'll multiply both sides by p squared plus n by p squared plus n. So this one will cancel out. So we are going to have got a squared in bracket p squared plus n should give us e squared p squared like that. Then on the left hand side, we open the bracket. We say a squared p squared plus a squared n should be equals to e squared p squared. But our concern is to make p the subject of the formula. So we bring the like terms together, the p groups. So we'll have got a squared p squared minus, we bring e squared p squared on the left hand side. So we'll have minus e squared p squared should give us, if we bring a squared n to the right hand side, then we'll have minus a squared n. So what is common on the left hand side? We will find that p squared is common. P squared is common. So we'll have p squared in bracket a squared minus e squared should give us minus a squared n. Divide both sides by a squared minus e squared a squared minus e squared. So this one cancel with that. So on the left-hand side, we are left with p squared alone, should give us minus a squared n over a squared minus e squared. So if we want to make p the subject, then we get the square root of p squared. So that will give us p alone will now be the square root of minus a squared n over a squared minus e squared. And now we have made p the subject of the formula. The formula was a equals to minus ep over root of p squared plus n. And we have found that p can now be given as minus a squared n over the square root. No, p can now be given by, this is what we've gotten, p can now be given by square root of minus a squared n over a squared minus e squared. Number 4, can we look at number 4? The volume V centimeter cubic of an object is given by V is equals to 2 over 3 pi r cubic in bracket 1 over SC squared minus 2. Express C in terms of pi, R, S, and V. So we are given a formula V is equals to 2 over 3 pi r cubic in bracket 1 over SC squared minus 2. We want to make C the subject of the formula. We want to make this C the subject of this formula. So what we are going to do, we can multiply both sides by 3, so that we do away with this 3. So we'll say 3V is equals to 2 pi r cubic in bracket 1 over SC squared minus 2. Like that. Then we can divide both sides by 2 pi r cubic. 2 pi r cubic. So this one cancel out. We now have 3v over 2 pi r cubic given by 1 over s c squared minus 2. Then from here, because our concern is to make C the subject of the formula, this C, the C that we want to make the subject of this formula. So what we are going to do, we can bring the minus 2 to the left-hand side, so that what we'll have 3v over 2 pi r cubic. If minus 2 come to the left-hand side, it will be plus 2 equals to 1 over SC squared. Like that. Then, from here, we can have, because we are going to have, we can say 2 over 1, like that. Then from here, we can get the LCM of the left-hand side. We'll say the LCM is 2 pi r to power 3. It goes, the all of this goes here. 1 times 3v, you'll have 3v plus, then 1 goes here, 2 pi r cubic times 2 pi r cubic times 2, you'll have 4 pi r cubic given by 1 over sc squared. So what we have, we can rearrange, we can bring the one on the right hand to the left hand, and we'll have 1 over sc squared is equals to 3v plus 4 pi r to power 3 over 2 pi r to power 3. Then we can get the reciprocal. We can get the reciprocal. Remember, the reciprocal of 1 over x is x. So if we get the reciprocal, we get the reciprocal of both sides. So that will give us sc squared is equals to 2 pi r to power 3 over 3v plus 4 pi r to power 3. So if we divide both sides by s, so this s cancel, we are left with c squared is equals to 2 pi r to power 3 over s in bracket 3v plus 4 pi r to power 3. Then c alone is now going to be the square root of 2 pi r to power 3 over s in bracket 3v plus 4 pi r to power 3. And we have made c the subject of the formula. We have made c the subject of that formula. Number 5. Let's look at number 5. Make v the subject of the formula. Make v the subject of the formula. The formula that we are given is t equals to a half m in bracket u squared minus v squared. So we can start by multiplying both sides by 2, so that we do away with this 2. So we'll have 2t is equals to m in bracket u squared minus v squared. Our concern is to make v the subject of the formula. So I can divide both sides by m. So this one cancel out. I'll have 2t over m is equals to u squared minus v squared. Then what I can do is to bring minus v squared to the left hand side. So I'll have 2t over m plus v squared is equals to u squared. Then from here I can transfer 2t over m to the left, to the right hand side. Can transfer. So I'll have on the left hand side, I'll remain with v squared should be equal to u squared minus 2t over m. So what I now have, I have v squared is equals to u squared minus 2t over m, which I can get the LCM on the right hand side. I'll say it is m. So 1 goes into m times u squared. You'll have mu squared minus 2t should give us v squared. So v alone is the square root of mu squared minus 2t over m. and that we have made V the subject of the formula. Number 6. Number 6, given that y is equal to b minus b x squared over c x squared minus a, make x the subject of the formula. So you are given y is equals to b minus bx squared over c x squared minus a. So the first thing that we can do is to do away with the denominator. How do we do away with the denominator? We cross multiply. We cross multiply both sides by c x squared minus a, both sides by c x squared minus a. So the all of this cancel with this. So we'll have y in bracket c x squared minus a should be equals to b minus bx squared. Our aim is to make x the subject of this formula. So we can open the bracket and say c yx squared minus ya is equals to b minus bx squared. Then from here, we are going to collect the like terms. So the x group we bring together. So we'll have cy x squared. If you bring minus b x squared to the left hand side, we are going to have plus bx squared should be equals to b, this b, minus, it's supposed to be plus, because if I bring minus ya to the right hand side, it is going to be ya. So what we have got b plus ya on the right hand side, and on the left hand side we have got cyx squared plus bx squared. Our aim is to make x the subject of the formula. So on the left hand side we have got x squared being common. X squared being common. So we'll have x squared in bracket cy plus b should be equals to b plus ya. Then we divide both sides by cy plus b, cy plus b. So this one cancel out. So what we are left with? We are left with x squared should be equals to b plus ya over cy plus b. Then x alone is going to be the square root of b ya over cy plus b. And now we have made x the subject of the formula. Number 7, given that log of y equals to log of 10x to power n, make n the subject of the formula. So we are told that log of y equals to log of, in bracket, 10x to power n. We want to make n the subject of this formula. So what we are going to do, because we have got log on both sides, we are going to cancel out the log. So that means y is equals to 10x to power n. Our aim is to make n the subject of the formula, so we can divide both sides by 10. Both sides by 10. So what we have now is y over 10 given by x to power n. So we have got x to power n is equals to y over 10. So from here, what we are going to have we can reintroduce log on both sides and say log of x to power n should be equals to log of y over 10, like that. Then we must know that if we have got log of y to power x, log of y to power x can be written as x log of y. So if we have got log of x to power n, this can be written as n log of x. So in our case here, because we have got log of x to power n, this can be written as n log of x should be equals to log of y over 10. If I divide both sides by log of x, both sides by log of x, then I'll be left with n alone, given by log of y to power 10 over 10 over log of x. But remember, to simplify our answer, remember that if you have got log of a over b, this can be written as log of a minus log of b. So if I have got log of y over 10, I know that this can be written as log of y minus log of 10. So my n can also be written as log of y minus log of 10 over log of x. And that is the answer. And that is how it's supposed to be done. Number 8. Make x the subject of the formula. So we are given p equals to x, y over z plus x, everything to power a half. So if we want to make x the subject of this formula, then we can even square both sides to do away with the a half to power a half. So if I square both sides, I'll do away with 1 over 2. So I'll have p squared is equals to x, y over z plus x. Then from here, I can do away with the denominator by cross multiplying. I'll multiply this side by z plus x, this side by z plus x. So this one will cancel out. On the left-hand side, I'll be left with p squared in bracket z plus x equals to xy. So open the bracket on the left-hand side, you'll have p squared z plus p squared x is equals to xy. Collect the like terms. Our aim, don't forget, is to make x the subject. So the x family, we can bring them together. So we'll have p squared x. Let's do away with this first. And so on the left-hand side, we'll be left with p squared z should be equals to xy minus, because if p squared x goes to the right, it becomes minus. So minus p squared x. From here, we know that on the left-hand side, we have got p squared z. So on the right-hand side, you can see that x is common. X is common. So we'll say x in bracket y minus p squared. Divide both sides by y minus p squared, y minus p squared. So this one cancel out. So x alone is now given by p squared z over y minus p squared. That is how it's supposed to be done. Number 9, make x the subject of the formula. So in this case, we are given s equals to w square root of a squared minus x squared. We want to make x the subject of the formula. So what we can do, we can divide both sides by w by w. So we'll have s over w equal to square root of a squared minus x squared. If we square both sides, we are going to do away with the square root on the right hand side. So we'll have s squared over w squared should give us a squared minus x squared. Our aim is to make x the subject of the formula. So if we bring x on the right hand side, on the left hand side we'll have s squared over w squared plus x squared should be equals to a squared. So we now have x on the left hand side. Can we take s squared over w squared on the right hand side? That will give us x squared on the left should be equals to a squared minus s squared over w squared. We can get the LCM for the right hand side is w squared. 1 goes into w squared times a squared. We have a squared w squared minus w squared goes into w squared 1 times a squared. We'll have a squared. So this one is supposed to give us x squared. So in our case, x squared is given by a squared w squared minus s squared over w squared. So x alone is going to be the square root of a squared w squared minus s squared over w squared. And that is the formula for x. We've made x the subject of that formula. Number 11, make y the subject of the formula. Make y the subject of the formula. Number 11, make y the subject of the formula. We are given p equals to xy over x minus y. So this is what we are going to do. Our concern is to make y the subject. We can cross multiply both sides by the denominator so that we do away with the denominator. So this one will cancel out. So we'll have p in bracket x minus y should give us xy. Then open the bracket on the left hand side, we'll have px minus py equals to xy. Then collect the like terms together. We want to bring the y family together because our concern is to make y the subject of the formula. So px is supposed to give us xy plus py. Then px is equals to y is common. So we'll have y in bracket x plus p. Then you can divide both sides by x plus p p. This one will cancel with that. So we are left with px over x plus p equals to y. So our y is equals to px over x plus p. That is the answer for that. Let us look at number 11. Number 11 is saying make y the subject of the formula. P equals to xy over x minus y. So we are given P is equals to xy over x minus y. So the first thing that we are supposed to do here is to do away with the denominator by cross multiplying both sides with the denominator. So we'll have x minus y, x minus y. Then this one cancel with that. Our aim is to make y the subject of the formula. So on the left hand side, we are going to have p in bracket x minus y should be equals to xy. Then we are going to break the bracket on the left hand side. We'll say px minus py equals to xy. Then from there, we collect the like terms. Our aim is to make y the subject of the formula. So the y family, the y group are going to be brought together. So on the left-hand side, we are going to be left with x, px. Then on the right-hand side, we are going to have xy. And you know that when minus py comes to the right, when it crosses over, then it is going to be now plus py. From here, we can see that y is common on the right-hand side. Y is common. So we'll have px given by y in bracket x plus p. Then we can divide both sides by x plus p. This one will cancel out. Then we'll be left with px over x plus p equals to y. So y is equals to px over x plus p. And that is the answer. Number 12. Number 12 is saying make C the subject of the formula t equals to x root of c squared plus d squared. So the formula that we are given is t equals to x root of c squared plus d squared. If we want to make C the subject of the formula here, the first thing that we can do is to divide both sides by x, then this one will cancel out like that. So we are left with t over x is equals to root of c squared plus d squared. The next thing that we can do is to do away with the square root on the right hand side. So we are going to square both sides. Remember, I told you that if you have got the square root of a number, if it is squared, then what we are going to remain with is that number. Even if it is square root of y, I square it, what I'll have is y. So in my case, if I have got square root of c squared plus d squared, if I square it, then what I'm going to have is just c squared plus d squared. So here, what I'm going to have on the left-hand side, I'll have t squared over x squared, but on the right-hand side, I'll have c squared plus d squared. Then my aim is to make c the subject of the formula. So I'll bring d squared to the left. So I'll have t squared over x squared minus d squared, so will be equals to c squared. I can get the LCM so that I say x squared, LCM of x squared and 1 is x squared. X squared goes into x squared x 1 times. 1 times t squared, we get t squared. Minus 1 goes into x squared times. Multiplied by d squared, we'll get x squared, d squared is giving us c squared. So what we have now is that c squared is t squared minus x squared d squared over x squared. C alone will now be the square root of t squared minus x squared d squared over x squared. And that is how that is being done. Number 13, make B the subject of the formula. So what we are given is A is equals to BD over root of B squared minus D. So we want to make B the subject of the formula. We want to make B the subject of the formula. So what we can do, we can cross multiply both sides by the square, the denominator. Can cross multiply both sides by root of b squared minus d, like that. Both sides by the root of b squared minus d. So this one will cancel with that. So we have now root of b squared minus d. If I multiply it by a, I should get bd. If I divide both sides by a, then a cancel out. So I'll have root of b squared minus d should give me bd over a. I want to do away with the square root. So I square both sides. If I square both sides, I'll have on the left hand side, I'll have b squared d, b squared minus d should give me b squared d squared over a. So what was our aim? Our aim was to make b the subject of the formula. So what I'll have b squared minus b squared d squared over a squared. Remember, this is also squared. This one is also squared. Should give me d. So we have got b squared minus b squared d squared over a squared is equals to d. So if you check, this one is common. This one is common, b squared. So we'll have b squared in bracket 1 minus d squared over a squared should be equals to d. So this one is 1. Let's get the LCM b squared in bracket, LCM there is a squared. So we'll have a squared minus d squared should give us d. So b squared alone should be equals to d times a squared, everything over a squared minus d squared. So b squared is equals to d a squared over a squared minus d squared. So b alone is now equals to root of d a squared over a squared minus d squared, like that. But I want to repeat this question. Let me repeat it. We are told make B the subject of the formula A equals to BD over root of B squared minus D squared. So what we are given is A equals to BD over root of B squared minus D like that. From this stage, at this stage, I can even decide to do away with the square root of the denominator. So I can decide to multiply to get the square of both sides, like that. If I do that, then I'll have A squared on the left-hand side equals to, on the right-hand side, I'll have B squared, D squared over B squared minus D. That is what I'll have after I've squared the right-hand side. Then I can cross-multiply both sides by the denominator. So I'll have B squared minus D, B squared minus D. Then that one will cancel out. So I'll have A squared in bracket B squared minus D should be equals to B squared D squared, like that. Then open the bracket on the left-hand side. You'll say A squared times B squared is A squared B squared minus A squared times minus D squared will have A squared D equals to B squared D squared. Then we want to collect the like terms. We want to bring the B's family together because our aim is to make B the subject of the formula. So we'll have A squared B squared minus B squared D squared should be equals to, if this comes to the right-hand side, then we'll have A squared D, like that. Then what we are going to have, the common factor is B squared. Common factor is B squared. So we'll have B squared in bracket A squared minus D squared is equals to A squared D, like that. Then B squared alone is equals to B squared alone will be equals to, this one we'll get after we've divided both sides by D squared, A squared. We've divided both sides by A squared minus D squared. So that one cancels. So B squared alone is equals to A squared D over A squared minus D squared. So let me wrap this. So what I'm going to have, B alone is the square root of A squared D over A squared minus D squared. Number 14, make P the subject of the formula. P squared is equals to P minus Q in bracket multiplied by P minus R in bracket. So we are given P squared is equals to P minus Q in bracket multiplied by P minus R in bracket, like that. So this is what we are going to do. We are going to say that P squared should be equals to P in bracket P minus R minus Q in bracket P minus R, like that. We are going to open the bracket on the right-hand side. P squared is equals to P squared minus PR minus PQ plus QR, like that. Then we can collect the like terms. We'll say p squared minus p squared, because we have brought this one to the right, should be equals to minus pr minus pq plus qr. So this one will cancel out, we'll have 0 is equals to minus pr minus pq plus qr. Then if you bring the 2 on the left hand side, we are going to have pr minus plus pq should be equals to qr. So from here we can see that p is common, p in bracket r plus q should be equals to qr. So divide both sides by r plus q, divide both sides by r plus q. So this one will cancel out. P alone is equals to q r over r plus q. And that is how that is being done. Number 15, make S the subject of the formula. Make S the subject of the formula. We are given a root of P is equals to R root of 1 minus A S squared. So we are given root of P equals to R root of 1 minus A S squared, like that. So what are we going to do? We can multiply both sides by, we can square both sides. We can square both sides like that. If we square both sides, on the left hand side we are going to be left with P, because I always say that if you have got root of a number, if it is squared, then it is that number. So on the left hand side we are going to have P. Then on the right hand side we are going to have R squared times 1 minus AS squared, like that. Then from here we can divide both sides by R squared. So that one cancel out. So we have got P over R squared equals to 1 minus AS squared. From here we can bring minus AS squared to the left. So we'll have got P. We'll have P over R squared plus AS squared equals to 1. From there, we can leave AS squared alone on the left-hand side and bring P over R squared to the right. So that will give us 1 minus P over R squared. So we have got AS squared should give us, let's get the LCM for the right hand side, over 1. So we'll have R squared minus P. So that will give us now, AS squared is equals to R squared minus P over R squared. Our aim is to make S the subject of the formula. So I can multiply both sides by 1 over A. So this one cancel out. I'll have S squared is equals to R squared minus P over A R squared. Then S alone is now going to be given by the square root of R squared minus P over A R squared. And that is how that is being done. Number 16, given that y equals to 2x minus z, over x plus 3z. Express x in terms of y and z. Given that y equals to 2x minus z over x plus 3z, express x in terms of y and z. So the question is telling us to make x the subject of the formula, that we are given y is equals to 2x minus z over x plus 3z. So we want to make x the subject of the formula. So the first thing that we can do is to do away with the denominator by multiplying both sides with the denominator. X plus 3z, x plus 3z. So this one will cancel with that. So on the left hand side, we are left with y in bracket x plus 3z should be equals to 2x minus z. Our aim is to make x the subject of the formula. So that will be yx plus 3yz should be equals to 2x minus z. Then from here, we collect the like terms. Let's bring the x together. So we'll have yx, take away 2x, should be equals to minus z minus 3yz. Because we have made this to cross on this side, becoming negative, and this to cross on this other side, becoming negative. So from here, we can see that x is common. So we'll have x in bracket y minus 2 should be equals to minus z minus 3yz. So divide both sides by y minus 2, y minus 2. So this one cancel out. So x alone is equals to, if you check this, z is common. So we'll have minus z in bracket 1 plus 3y over y minus 2. And that is the answer for that. Number 17, make h the subject of the formula. Make h the subject of the formula. Q equals to 1 plus RH over 1 minus HT. We want to make H the subject of this formula. So we are given Q is equals to 1 plus RH over 1 minus HT. So the first thing that we can do is to cross multiply both sides by the denominator. Both sides by the denominator. So this one will cancel with that. So we are left with Q in bracket 1 minus HT should be equals to 1 plus RH. So open the bracket, we'll have Q minus QHT equals to 1 plus RH. Then from here, what we can be able to do is to collect the like terms. Collect the like terms. So we'll have Q minus 1 should be equals to RH plus QHT. So we have got Q minus 1 equals to H is common, H is common, H is common. So we'll have H in bracket R, we'll have R plus QT. So what we now have is h in bracket r plus q t equals to q minus 1. So h alone will divide r plus q t, r plus q t. This one will cancel out. Then we'll be left with h is equals to q minus 1 over r plus qt. And that is how to make h the subject of that formula. Number 18. Can we look at number 18? Number 18, make x the subject of the equation. Make x the subject of the equation. So the equation that we are given is 3y plus p over q plus 1 over x. So we have got 3y equals to y plus p over q plus 1 over x. So this is what we have. If we have got q plus 1 over x, we know that we can get the LCM here and say LCM is x. So we'll have 1 goes into x, x times x multiplied by q, we'll have qx, plus x goes into x 1 times 1 multiplied by y, you'll have 1. So now we'll have 3y equals to y plus p over qx plus 1 over x. So this one alone, we want to simplify this. If you are given p over qx plus 1 over x, this is the same as p divided by qx plus 1 over x. This is the same as p times x over qx plus 1. This is the same as px over qx plus 1. So in our case here, we are going to have 3y should be equals to y plus px over qx plus 1. Our aim is to make x the subject of the formula. So on the right hand side, we can get the LCM. LCM will be qx plus 1. So this one here goes here, goes here, qx plus 1 times. Qx plus 1 times multiplied by y, we'll now have y in bracket qx plus 1. Then this goes here 1 times. 1 times px will have px times. So finally what we have is 3y is equals to y in bracket qx plus 1 plus px over qx plus 1. Remember, our aim is to make x the subject of the formula. So we'll have 3y in bracket 3y equals to qyx plus y plus px over qx plus 1. Then from here we can cross multiply both sides by the denominator qx plus 1, qx plus 1. So this one will cancel with that. So we'll have 3y multiplied by qx plus 1 equals to qyx plus y plus px. So we'll have 3qyx plus 3y equals to qyx plus y plus px. From there, you collect the like terms. You'll say 3qyx. Let's bring the x family together. Minus qyx minus px should be equals to y minus 3y. So from here we can say x is common, x is common, x is common, because it was x that we were to get to make the subject of the formula. So we'll have x in bracket 3qy minus qy minus p should be equals to y is common, y in bracket 1 minus 3. So x alone we can divide by 3qy minus qy minus p, divide 3qy minus qy minus p. So this one cancel with that. So we are left with x equals to y in bracket 1 minus 3 over 3qy minus qy minus p. Number 19, make S the subject of the formula. W equals to the third root S plus T over S. So we have W equals to the third root S plus T over S, like that. So what we can do here, the third root, if you have the third root of a number y, remember this can be written as y to power 1 over 3. And if you have the square root of a number y, remember this can be written as y to power 1 over 2. Even if it is the fourth root of a number y, remember this can be written as y to power 1 over 4. So if we have got the third root of a number y, if we raise it to power 3, then we are going to be left with that number. So in this our case, if we raise it to power 3 and we do the same to the left, we'll have w cubic equals to s plus t over s. Then cross multiply both sides by the denominator, So you'll have SW cubic equals to S plus T. Collect the like terms. SW cubic minus S is equals to T. Collect, we have got the common factor S in bracket W cubic minus 1 equals to T. From here, we can divide both sides by W to power 3 minus 1, W power 3 minus 1. So that will cancel out. We'll have S is equals to T over W cubic minus 1. And that is how that is supposed to be done. Number 20. Make N the subject of the equation. Make N the subject of the equation. We have got R over P equals to M over root of N minus 1. So we have got R over P equals to M over root of N minus 1. So this one we can do away with the square root. And if you want to do away with the square root, you square both sides. So we'll have r squared over p squared is equals to m squared over n minus 1. Then from there, we can cross multiply both sides. We can cross multiply both sides by n minus 1, n minus 1. So we'll have r squared over p squared in bracket n minus 1 should be equals to m squared. Cross multiply both sides by p squared by p squared. So this one will cancel out. So we are left with r squared in bracket n minus 1 should be equals to m squared p squared. So open the bracket, r squared n minus r squared equals to m squared p squared. So r squared n should be equals to m squared p squared plus r squared. Our aim is to make n the subject of the formula. So we divide both sides by r squared, both sides by r squared. So n is equals to m squared p squared plus r squared over r squared, like that. So that is the formula for finding n from that equation. Number 21, make D the subject of the formula. Make D the subject of the formula. P equals to 1 over 2 m n squared minus qd squared over n. So we are given P is equals to 1 over 2 m n squared minus q d squared over n. We want to make D the subject of the formula. So what we can do here, we can get the LCM of the right-hand side, which will be 2n. And we'll say 2 goes here n times. N multiplied by mn squared will have mn to power 3 minus n goes here, n goes into 2n 2 times. 2 multiplied by qd will have 2q d squared. Then from there we can cross multiply both sides by the denominator. So we'll have 2np is equals to mn to power 3 minus 2q d squared. Our aim is to make D the subject of the formula. So what we can do, we can bring 2qd to the left. So we'll have 2np plus 2qd squared is equals to mn to power 3. So we'll have 2qd squared is equals to mn to power 3 minus 2np. Then you divide both sides by 2q, so that one cancel out. We are left with d squared equals to mn to power 3 minus 2np over 2q. So d alone is equals to square root of mn to power 3 minus 2np over 2q. And that is the answer for that. Number 22, make S the subject of the formula W equals to the third root over S plus T over S. So we have got W is equals to the third root of S plus T over S. What we can do is to raise both sides to power 3. Raise both sides to power 3 because we know that if you have got third root of a number is the same as x to power 1 over 3. So if you raise it to power 3, what you are going to have is x to power 1 over 3 times 3, which cancel out. You are left with the x. So if we raise the right hand side to power 3, we are going to have, on the left hand side, we are going to have 3w to power 3 should be equals to s plus t over s. Then cross multiply both sides by s. So that one will cancel out. We'll have sw to power 3 equal to s plus t. Collect the like terms, then we'll say sw to power 3 minus s is equals to t. So s is common, in bracket w to power 3 minus 1 equals to t. So s, divide both sides by w to power 3 minus 1, w to power 3 minus 1. So this one cancel out. So we are left with s is equals to t over w to power 3 minus 1. And that is the answer for that. Number 23. Number 23, make t the subject of the formula. Make t the subject of the formula. So what we are given here, we are told s is equals to ut plus a half dt squared. Half gt squared. So that is the equation that we are given. So if you look at this equation keenly, then you'll realize that this is a quadratic equation. It is a quadratic equation. So if it is a quadratic equation, we can rearrange it and say a half gt squared plus ut is equal to s. So that means a half gt squared plus ut minus s is equal to 0. Then at this stage, what we can do is to divide everything by the coefficient of t squared. Divide everything by the coefficient of t squared. So we'll divide both everything a half g, 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 a half g. So this one will cancel out. So we'll have t squared plus ut divided by a half g is the same as ut times 2 over g, which is equals to 2ut over g. So here we'll have 2u over gt minus s divided by a half g is the same as s times 2 over g, which is 2s over g. So we'll have 2s over g equals to 0. The next thing that we are going to do here is to say that t squared minus 2u over g t is equals to 2s over g. We have brought this one on the right hand side. So, sorry. So this is what we have. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to get the coefficient, a half of the coefficient of t. We are going to get a half of the coefficient of t. We square it and then we add it to both sides. We are going to get a half of the coefficient of t. We square it and then we add it to both sides. What we are doing, we are making the left-hand side to be a perfect square. So this is what we are going to have. A half of the coefficient of t will be having minus 2u over 2g, which is minus u over g. We have gotten a half of the coefficient of t. A half of the coefficient of t, we are saying you take the coefficient of t, you divide it by 2. A half of the coefficient of t is minus u over g. Then you square it to both, you square it. If you square it, you'll get u squared over g squared. Once you've squared a half of the coefficient of t, you add it to both sides. So this side will have t squared minus 2u over g t plus a half which is minus u minus u over g, but we square should be equals to 2s over g plus minus u over g, but squared. So on the left hand side, we have made it to be a perfect square, meaning in simple, we are saying t minus u over g squared is equals to 2s over g plus u squared over g squared. So let's get this one will now give us t minus u over g squared should be equals to LCM is g squared. G goes here, g times g multiplied by 2s will have 2gs plus g squared goes here 1 times u squared, you get u squared. So we are saying t minus u over g squared should give us 2gs plus u squared over g squared. So t minus u over g is supposed to give us the square root of 2gs plus u squared over g squared. Like that. Then that means t minus u over g is supposed to give us square root of 2gs plus u squared over square root of g squared. So that will tell us that t minus u over g is equals to 2 square root of 2gs plus u squared over g alone. Square root of g squared is g. Then you bring this to the right. You'll say t alone is now equals to square root of 2gs plus u squared over g plus u over g. So t alone is given by, and the square root is g, will have plus or minus root of 2gs plus u squared plus u. And that is how t can be made the subject from the formula that we have. Number 24. Number 24, make x the subject of the formula. In this equation, you can also realize that this one is a quadratic equation. Quadratic equation. So what we have, we have ax squared plus bx plus c equal to 0. We can divide both sides by the coefficient of x squared. So that will give us x squared plus b over a x plus c over a equal to 0. Then the next step is to bring c over a to the right. So we'll have x squared plus b over a x should be equals to minus c over a. Then from here, what we can do, we want to make the left-hand side a perfect square. The left-hand side a perfect square. So for us to make the left-hand side a perfect square, we'll take the coefficient of x. The coefficient of x is b over a. This one. Then you get a half of it. A half of it will be equals to b over 2a. Once you've gotten a half of the coefficient of x, you square it. And you add it to both sides. So when I square this, I'll get b squared over 4a squared. So that is what I add to both sides. X squared plus b over a x plus a half of the coefficient of x squared, which is b squared over 4a squared, should be equals to minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So on the left-hand side, we now have a perfect square that can just be written as x plus b over 2a, which is a half of the coefficient of x. Then we square everything, should give us minus c over a plus b squared over 4a squared. So from there, we now have x plus b over 2a squared should be equals to LCM here is 4a squared. A goes into 4a squared 4a times. 4a times minus c, we get minus 4ac. Plus 4a squared goes into 4a squared 1 times. 1 times b squared, you get b squared. So we have got x plus b over 2a squared should be equals to minus 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. So x plus b over 2a alone is going to be the square root of minus 4ac plus b squared over 4a squared. So that means x plus b over 2a is going to be the square root of minus 4ac plus b squared over square root of b squared 4a squared. 4a squared. So that is going to give us x plus b over 2a is supposed to give us minus 4ac plus b squared over 2a. So x alone is equals to minus b over 2a plus or minus the square root of minus 4ac plus b squared over 2a. So that one means x alone is equals to LCM is 2a. 2a goes into 2a one time, so we'll have minus b plus or minus, because of the square root, minus 4ac plus b squared. And that is the answer for that. Number 25, make D the subject of the formula. So what we are given here is we are given S equals to n over 2 in bracket 2a plus n minus 1 b, like that. Now we want to make D the subject of this formula. So how are we going to go about it? The first thing, we can cross multiply both sides by 2. So we'll have 2s is equals to n in bracket 2a plus, can we open the small bracket? No. Let's just continue and leave it the way it is, like that. What about now if we divide both sides by n, that one cancel out, then we have 2s over n should be equals to 2a plus n minus 1 in bracket d. So 2s over n minus 2a should be equals to n minus 1 d. So if I have got 1 there, then I can be able to get the LCM n. So we'll have 2s, 1 goes into n times, minus 2a n equals to n minus 1 d. So let's divide both sides by n minus 1, cancel out, so we'll have d equals to 2s minus 2an over n squared minus n, and that is d. Number 25, make d the subject of the formula S equals to n over 2 in bracket 2n plus in small bracket n minus 1 multiplied by d, close the bracket. So that we are given S equals to n over 2 in bracket 2a plus n minus 1 d. So the first thing that we can do here is to cross multiply both sides by 2, so that these 2 cancel with this. So we have done away with the denominator. We'll have 2s is equals to n in bracket 2a plus n minus 1 d, like that. Then we can divide both sides by n, so that will give us 2s over n should be equals to 2a plus n minus 1 d. Our aim is to make d the subject of the formula, so we'll have 2s over n minus 2a should be equals to n minus 1 d over 1. LCM here is n. N goes into n 1 times. 1 times 2s, we'll have 2s. Minus 1 goes into n times. N times 2a, you'll have 2na. Should be equals to n minus 1 d. So we now have n minus 1 d should be equals to 2s minus 2na over n. If we divide both sides by n minus 1 by n minus 1, so this will cancel out. We'll have d equals to 2s minus 2na over n squared minus n. And that is d. Number 26. Make h the subject of the formula. So what we are given s is equals to 2 pi r squared plus 2 pi h. We want to make h the subject of the formula. So what we are going to do here, we can have s minus 2 pi r squared is equals to 2 pi h. So we have got 2 pi h equals to s minus 2 pi r squared. So if you divide both sides by 2 pi, 2 pi cancel, we are left with h equals to s minus 2 pi r squared over 2 pi. That is the answer for that. Number 27. Make G the subject of the formula. The formula that we are given is T equals to 2 pi root of L over G. So we are given T is equals to 2 pi root of L over G. So if we divide both sides by 2 pi, we get T over 2 pi equals to root of L over G. Multiply, square both sides so that we do away with the square root. So we'll have T squared over 4 pi squared should be equals to L over G. So if you cross multiply both sides by G, G cancel. So we have G times T squared over 4 pi squared is equals to L. Cross multiply both sides by 4 pi squared. This one cancel out, so we have G times T squared is equals to 4L pi squared. Divide both sides by T squared. So G is equals to 4L pi squared over T squared. That is the answer. Number 28. Given that the formula 1 over f equals to 1 over u plus 1 over v, make v the subject of the formula. Find v when u is equals to 30 centimeters and f is equals to 10 centimeters. So the formula that we are given is 1 over f equals to 1 over u plus 1 over v. So if we want to make v the subject of the formula, we'll say 1 over f equals to LCM will be u, v. So u goes into u, v times. V times 1, we'll have v, plus v goes into u, v, u times. U times 1, we'll have u. So 1 over f equals to v plus u over uv. So if we cross multiply both sides by u, v, so this will cancel out. So we'll have u, v over f equals to v plus u. Multiply both sides by f, so that cancel out. So we'll have u, v equals to v plus u. Collect the like terms. U v minus v is equals to u. So v is common in bracket u minus 1 should be equals to u. So v is equals to u over u minus 1. And that is the answer. So if we want to find v when u is 30, number 28, given the formula 1 over f equals to 1 over u plus 1 over v, part A, make v the subject of the formula. Part B, find v when u equals to 30 centimeters and f equal to 10 centimeters. So part A, we are given the formula 1 over f is equals to 1 over u plus 1 over v. So if we want to make v the subject of the formula, so we can say 1 over f minus 1 over u is equals to 1 over v. So LCM here is fu. F goes here u times 1 is u minus u goes here f time. F times 1 is f. Should be equals to 1 over v. So that means if I cross multiply both sides by v, I'll have v times u minus f over fu equals to 1. Multiply both sides by fu. This one cancel out. We have v times u minus f equals to fu. So divide both sides by u minus f. So v is equals to fu over u minus f. And this is the answer. Now part B, can we find v when u is 30 centimeters and f is 10? So v is equals to f, which is 10, times u, which is 30, over u, which is 30, minus v, which is 10. So v is equals to 300 over 20. It goes there 1, it goes there 15. So v is 15 centimeters. Number 29, make G the subject of the formula. E is equals to mv squared over 2 plus mgh. Find G if E is 1200 joules, M is 18.5 kilograms, and V is 10 meters per second. So we are given E equals to mv squared over 2 plus mgh. Find G. So we want to make G the subject of the formula. So we know that E minus mv squared over 2 is equals to mgh. So here over 1, LCM is 2. 1 goes into 2, 2 times. 2 times E, 2E. Minus 2 goes into 2, 1 times. 1 times mv squared is mv squared. Should give us mgh. So we have mgh given by 2e minus mv squared over 2. If I divide both sides by mh, this one will cancel like that. Then I'll be left with G equals to 2e minus mv squared over 2mh. So this is G, the formula for finding G. We are saying G is 2e minus mv squared over 2mh. So G alone is, if we are given E is equals to 1,200 joules, M is 18.5 kilograms, and V is 10 meters per second. So it will be 2 times E, which is 1,200, minus M, which is 18.5, times V squared, which is 10 squared, over 2 times 18.5 times H. Are we given H? H we are not given, so it will be H like that. So G is equals to 2,400 minus 18.5 times 10 squared, 1,850 over 2 times 18.5, 37H. So G is equals to 2,400 minus 1,850. We get 550 over 37H. That is the answer for that. Number 30. Given that S is equals to A in bracket 1 minus R to power N over 1 minus R, make N the subject of the formula. So the first question is, we are given S is equals to A in bracket 1 minus R to power N over 1 minus R. We want to make N the subject of the formula. So the first thing that we can do is to cross multiply both sides by the denominator. So this will cancel out. So we'll have S in bracket 1 minus R should be equals to A R minus A R to power N. So this will give us S R minus we'll have S minus S R should be equals to A R minus A R to power N. So that will give us, if we bring A R to the right, to the left, we'll have S minus S R minus A R equals to minus A R to power N. Like that. So what are we going now to have? We are going to have here, we can say that if we multiply both sides by minus 1, then we'll say minus S plus SR plus AR equals to AR to power N. So that will give us, we can rearrange and say SR plus AR minus S equals to AR to power N. So if we divide both sides by A, then that will cancel out. Then we'll have SR plus AR minus S over A equals to R to power N. So this one will force us to introduce log and say log of, in bracket, SR plus AR minus S over A equals to log of R to power N. So this is going to give us log of SR plus AR minus S over A equals to N log of R. So if you divide both sides by log of R, so we now have N given by log of SR plus AR minus S over A over log of R. So that is the formula for finding N. Number 31, a law relating pressure P and volume V is given by PV to power N equals to C. Make N the subject of the formula. Find N when P is equal to 960 mm mercury, V is equal to 400 millimeters cubic, and C is equal to 2120. So we are given part A, we are given PV to power N equals to C. So we know that if we divide both sides by P, so we'll have V to power N is equal to C over P. So if you introduce log, you'll say V to power N is equal to log of C over P. So this is the same as N log of V is equal to log of C over P. Divide both sides by log of V. So we can say N equals to log of C over P over log of V, which is the same as N equals to log of C minus log of P over log of V. So part B, we are told find N when P is 960, V is 400, and C is 2120. So N is log of C, which is 2120 minus log of P, which is, they are telling us P is 960, and V is 400, log 400. So that will give us N. So we'll have, open the bracket, log of 2120 minus log of 960, close the bracket, divide by log of 400 equals to 0.1322, and that is the answer for that. Number 32. Make Z the subject of the formula. So we are given Z equals to, we are given X equals to D minus dz squared over fz squared minus g. So we want to make z the subject of the formula. So we can cross multiply both sides by fz squared minus g, fz squared minus g. So this one cancel. So we have x in bracket fz squared minus g should be equals to d minus dz squared. Sorry, that is what we now have. Open the bracket, fxz squared minus xg equals to d minus dz squared. Collect the like terms, fxz squared plus dz squared equals to d plus xg. Common factor z squared in bracket fx plus d should be equals to d plus xg. Divide both sides by fx plus d, so that cancel out. We are left with z squared is equals to d plus xg over fx plus d. So z alone is equals to square root of d plus xg over fx plus d. That is the answer for that.